lead generation, AI. Like when I first started in this industry, you gotta understand where I'm coming from. When I first started in this industry, I remember we had two gigantic printers in the office that were these huge fax machines, and the fax machine had a line all day long of applications going out and bank statements and tax returns and financials going back and forth. But definitely excited to talk about the revolution that's happened in terms of the technological revolution that's taken place in the last, let's call it 10, 15, 20 years. But even realistically, the last 10, 15, 20 weeks has shown us how quickly AI can compound when smart people really start to take advantage of what's available at their fingertips. So I'm excited to get a chance to chat with you guys. I'm excited to go into some of this stuff. Really quick, again, I'm Tony Cimino, our VP of Business Development over here. And let me just say from the bottom of my heart, nobody's more excited for you to be a partner of Rock Financial than me. Nobody wants you to fund more deals. Nobody wants you to make more money. I promise. It's the biggest things that I'm incentivized to do. So trust me when I tell you, I'm here to help. If you need me, reach out to me. I'm excited to get a chance to chat with you. After the last webinar, I got a chance to go back and forth with a bunch of people, through email. So that was awesome. Feel free to drop me a line. I would love to chat about you, your partner experience, and how we could be more of a resource for you. Automation is something that can, for lack of a better term, happen automatically, right? It's a repetitive task where one thing happens, then the next, right? If you think about it, it's how machinery has worked for hundreds of years now. It's how processes have been built for a very long time. Automation is not a new thing. Neither is AI. AI has been around forever as well. It's just really become extremely popular. And as it's become more and more adopted by everyday users, it has compounded extremely quickly. And now AI has started to take automation to the next level. Right? And what does it do? It actually learns, analyzes, and is able to make decisions, right? I always say that, HI is a hell of a resource if you deploy it well. And that's human intelligence. But AI has proven to be just as valuable. And now, how do you figure out where do you deploy the AI? And I think this is the conversation that everybody needs to have with themselves right now. You have all these gurus out there talking about all these tools and all these resources. Well, that's great. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of examples of AIs that are being spun up and corporations that are spinning up their own versions of AI and this and that. Let me give you a quick history lesson. If you looked back at the historical jobs in the United States. In 1905, 90% of those jobs had something to do with horses. Horse and buggy, drivers and shoes and you're storing horses and all this stuff. By 1911, horses were glue. That's a true fact. Horses had become obsolete. There was 150 auto manufacturers that were developed between the years 1906 and 1911. And that's really the thing that propelled industry going forward. I'm not saying that you're going to see the same exact thing with AI, but right now we're in that boom period of there's going to be thousands of these things in every direction. You are going to start to get a vacuum. I do want you to understand you are going to start to get a vacuum of this AI and of the intelligence and who's offering it and what it does. And the reason is because as the bigger players get in the game, they already have your information. One of the biggest conversations in AI right now has to do with is OpenAI and ChatGPT a long-term solution? There's a lot of people who make a lot of money, who have much better ways to explain this than I do, that don't believe that ChatGPT and OpenAI are built for long-term success. And that's because companies like Google have developed the very similar or same resource, but they already have 75% of the market share of businesses in the United States. So how are you as ChatGPT going to compete with somebody who already has 75% of your customers? right? If you look at how ChatGPT makes their money and OpenAI makes their money, it's on $20 one-off person and individual subscription basis. Over 75% of businesses in the United States are already Google users or Google organizations, and Google just gave out Gemini for free. And it does everything that ChatGPT can do. And the longer we get into this cycle of businesses investing in that resource, the better it's going to be for people like you and I. So what do? I'm telling you right now, the worst thing you can do is sit back and wait, right? Don't wait. Start with testing. Start with testing AI. Where can you deploy it? What are the things that you need it to do? So let's get into the nitty gritty here. Let's get into what you need to know. Let's get into how you can start to leverage some of this stuff. But one of the things that you should know is how AI is already being utilized. How many businesses are already seeing increases in things like bottom line revenue that they can point directly back to how they've implemented AI within their operation. This is a major shift, right, in terms of how small businesses have been ran. You may remember, maybe I'm a little old and I'm certainly a foodie at heart, I'll tell you that much. But I remember going into McDonald's during a lunch rush and there'd be 50 people behind the counter. Now, if you go to McDonald's during a lunch rush, there's 3 machines and 1 person standing behind the counter making sure that all the machines are okay, and the same thing's going on in the back. There is a tenth of as many employees during a lunch rush. I'm telling you right now, there's not any less restaurants in terms of McDonald's numbers, right? But the reality is they've figured out a way to put machines in place where they thought everybody wanted to walk up to the counter and somebody took their order. Nuh-uh. They made it much easier. They put an iPad out there for you to do it, right? The reality is like this stuff is everywhere and businesses are evolving. And the one thing that I would say is if you're not, I'm not saying your business is dying today, but what I am saying is there's businesses that are going to be able to do more with less simply because they've invested in the knowledge on how to leverage this type of tool and create systems and processes around it. So that's the reality. That's what we're living in. I'm not our CTO. I'm not some AI guru. I'm not pretending to be this thing. But what I can tell you is for the last 15 months in our organization, I've watched us test tool after tool and resource after resource and idea after idea. And trust me, we do a lot of business. Everything that we do when we test it, we're putting it under a real stress test. So I'm here to kind of help you cut through some of the BS of what's happening. I'm here to help you really understand, how you can leverage some of this stuff. But the best thing that you can do for yourself is put a process in place, measure that process, figure out where automation can lie, and then start to test it and see if it's up to par or potentially better than what you might already have going on. So that's really the reality of things. Getting into it a little bit more, right? Some of the things that I'm hoping you might be able to walk away with today is some examples of some tools that you might be able to use to help with lead generation, right? How can AI help me automate some of the tasks around, using how can AI help me automate some of the tasks around generating more leads, right? And ultimately just making AI work for you rather than you working for AI, right? Because that's what a lot of the noise around AI has been is how do I do these things and not make it so that I'm actually working more on the AI than I am on things like generating revenue, right? So that's the system, that's the process, that's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to pull some of these tools out. So let's just jump into some of the things that you could already be using and you might already have access to when it comes to AI within your business, or tools that you might be familiar with some people talking about, and I can give you some context behind them, right? The top line here, you have Gemini, which is Google's AI tool, right? You have ChatGPT, which is OpenAI, and then you have Claude, which is Anthropic's AI tool, which are all very, very similar. They are what the AI world refers to as LLMs, right? Or LLM, one of those. No, it's LLM, okay, large language model. There you go, that's the one. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not. But the reality is these tools are the ones that you see a lot of people talking about. You see a lot of people using in a lot of different ways. You see people using it for things like therapy. They're going in and talking about personal problems with their spouse, or they're wanting to build a custom workout program that fits their schedule. Right? The reality is businesses are using these tools to analyze data. Businesses are using these tools to identify trends, and businesses are using these tools to create systems and processes that they are able to leverage directly into revenue generating opportunities, right? How can you do that? Well, the first layer is peel back the onion a little bit. Do you have access to any of these things already, right? We're a big Google organization. One of the first things we had to do was realize, hey, listen, we got Gemini. Let's adopt this thing. Let's really understand what's going on here and start to leverage what's already at our fingertips, right? And then you can start to bolt on top, right? What else do you need? And that might come in the form of, hey, I need a little bit more help in this direction or that direction. And this is where AI becomes dangerous as far as an adjective for it, right? Because the reality is you probably already have use cases for it within your business. You just haven't quite identified the right tool to put in place. Now, how do you know you have the right tool? Test the tools. I'm serious. Put one against the other. Why not? Right? If you're looking to understand how do you leverage these things into more opportunity, it's simple. Put one against the other, right? And see how that might benefit you when looking to leverage AI. Because the reality is you can actually combine these tools, right? And that's where we're at today, is these things have started to talk to each other. So Canva is what somebody like me would have used on a 10 when I was back in college. I am the least creative person you have ever met in your whole life. Thankfully, I married a marketer. I'm not even joking, because it's taught me so much about an area of things that I have no idea what's going on. I mean, just the other day we were at a local restaurant, and at the restaurant they give you like this big sheet of paper on your table, and you can draw on the table. My wife's across the table; she's drawing Bluey. I can't even draw Hangman to play with my son. Like it's bad, right? I'm telling you, I'm not creative. So how does Tony get his creative juices flowing? I cheat. I use the best tools on the marketplace. Right? And the reality is I'm using the same tools as the people that are making millions and millions and millions of dollars to do exactly what I suck at. And now I have the same resources as them. So here I am able to utilize the same resource that somebody else is. So even though I'm not the most effective, I don't need to be. It's 2026. There's been history of people being more effective than me forever. So what ChatGPT combined with Canva, or Gemini combined with Canva, or Claude combined with Canva can get you is literally in under 60 minutes, you can go from no content for your business to as much content as you can imagine. You can have it plan the content based on what's already working within your niche, based on what's already working within your target market, right? And reality is the more marketing, the better, if you're asking my opinion. I see these posts all the time that talk about, people not posting enough about their business or not sharing enough about their business on social media. And I couldn't agree more. The reality is if you guys are really partners of Rock, you know we overmarket our product. We do. Why? Because I don't want you forgetting about me. And the reality is I got a cute face, so why not put it everywhere? No, I'm totally kidding. The reality is I'm not like this prototypical thing that gets marketed everywhere, right? Like we know sex sells, right? And that's not the direction. You don't need that. You don't have to do that. But the reality is in 2026, if you wanted to, you could tell ChatGPT to go create you some bot that you thought was what was going to be marketed, right? Like, and again, I'm not saying you got to go that route. I'm just giving you the facts. You don't have to be this thing. The problem is people start to wait. And I'm telling you not to wait. I'm telling you to test the tools, right? I'm telling you to build the process. If you already have a process where you know you want to get X amount of posts live per month. You can go into ChatGPT, define those kinds of posts, and let it build all the content, and then go into Canva and let it build all of the creative that goes behind that post, right? And all those posts, excuse me. There is a feature. Those of you that are tens in Canva, let me ask a quick question. What you know about bulk create? Canva has a feature, okay? I am going to show you how you can create 30 days of success stories like Rock Financial does in 4 minutes? So here's the reality. We track all of our fundings. As you guys know, you have access to all about it right in your portal. It gives you a full-on table of all of your fundings, when they took place, how much got funded, how much was made. We literally take that exact Excel file that you guys see, and we use Canva's bulk create feature to make 500 success stories at once if we wanted. The reality is you create a quick template, right? And it basically gives you a layout. And now you have a brand consistent layout that will be applied to multiple different images, right? And it can create them all at once by you creating the template. And then the next step is connecting the template to exactly the information that you want pulled from your Excel file or potentially like a CSV type of file, where then it can go line by line down the CSV file and pull all of the information in, right? Now, I'm using one small example of success stories, right? We fund a lot of businesses. So think about it. We can pull their industry, how much time in business, what their credit score was, what type of product they got, how much money they got funded for. If I was to go success story by success story and line item by line item, it would take me forever to create 30 days worth of posts. Now I can do it personally myself in under 3 minutes just by having the information where I need it and then connecting those files and literally just pressing go and sitting back and waiting. I mean, some of the Canva AI stuff is crazy. Are you guys familiar with what the hell was the tool called? Photoshop, right? Photoshop. That was the OG, right? Where you could remove like red eye filter, or you could take a shadow out of a picture, or you could edit photos. You don't even have to do that anymore. You can go right into Canva AI and tell you exactly what you want to do. You want to have a background remover, literally just click background remover, right? Now all of a sudden your image has no background. You can put your own logo and your own image on there. The reality is you guys have all of this already at your fingertips. Sora is the AI that you see right now creating all of these short clips of movie-like effects for literally 15 seconds of prompting. It's honestly astonishing what a quick little conversation with some of these AIs can spin up, and very, very quickly. Now, what I will say is this. I've given a good amount of examples of how you can start to utilize some of this stuff, but I don't even want to pretend to know your business. The reality is you got to get in here and play with some of this stuff. The reality is you got to take it upon yourself to learn how to utilize some of this stuff. And if it's not you, who on your team can you designate to go out and do exactly what Tony is telling you to do? I'm telling you right now, if you're not doing this stuff, you're going to get passed by the people who are. Because as the tools start to get better and better, which they already have, it's only going to further and further separate the gap of those who know it and those who don't, right? So you talk about, as far as like tools go, there's more than you could ever imagine. Right now, as far as how you use those tools, there's more use cases than you and I can even think of. But the reality is when you talk about generating leads or qualified information, a lot of these tools already have the resources built for you to be utilizing them. right? And that's the message that I want you guys to take away away from today's conversation, right? I want to share some of the rock AI and automation examples that are already in action that some of you guys might not even be aware of. I don't know if you know this, but if you go to your landing page right now, today, your business financing landing page is one of our partners, and you have a customer that fills out that landing page, there is already an automatic pre-qualifier tool that's built out within that web page's features so that when they click submit, boom, instantaneously it's going to send a pre-approval right there on their screen so that they know or have an idea of about how much money they might qualify for based on the factors that they shared within that quick short form. The next step right away is it pushes that lead into being able to self-service right through the full application process, right? So you have DocuSign integrated, you have Plaid technology, you have technology that pulls information from the bank statements from the application, pulls credit, does literally everything that you would need to do to have a full overview of any commercial financing transaction right there at your fingertips. It's literally in your URL. Nobody even has to touch it. You don't, I don't, none of the reps on my team, none of the reps on your team. In fact, it's the business owner and them themselves that can get all of this information and push their own transaction along. It's similar to how McDonald's has those order-taking iPads for you, right? Like the reality is you can go in and get the process started yourself, right? How many of you in the chat, really quick, know about the detailed loan analysis? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say not all that many of you, because the reality is this is one of those things that we invented a while back, not all that long ago, but a decent bit ago, and kind of has gotten lost because there's just been this continuous flood of more and more resource poured out for our partners, right? The reality is every single qualified borrower for Rock Financial. And when I say qualified, that means that they meet the minimum criteria and they've actually submitted information that backs that up. Meaning that they've proven the information that they submitted through bank statements, through invoices, through financials for the business and tax returns, right? We aggregate all of this data, and then we take all of the data, compare it to all of the products that are offered by Rock Financial, and every borrower gets this. They all do, where it fires out a custom email that tells them how they can go about qualifying for what's available today, and then steps that they could take for potentially qualifying for other types of financing in the future, right? Because the reality is not everybody might be SBA eligible today, but if you had a step-by-step booklet that showed you how to get there, you might be able to get there. That doesn't mean that you can't use a line of credit today or a term loan or equipment financing today, which all might be available, but the SBA might be one or two things away. How do we know that? Well, now we do, because it's a custom plan and a detailed loan analysis that is broken down for every single borrower based on every single thing that they're looking to do, right? Custom marketing campaigns, right? Our team takes time to have built out processes where if you're somebody that's within the process or somebody that has completed the funding cycle, you're getting customized messaging sent to you based on your business, what it qualifies for, how it works, and really using all of the tools at your fingertips, because the reality is there's power in information. And if that information isn't shared with the borrowers in a timely manner, that information becomes irrelevant. Well, here's the information when you need it, how you need it, exactly the way that you should see it. Why? Because it's based on your industry, your time in business, where you're located, what you're using the money for. And all of this stuff is built out so that it literally speaks directly to the borrower and where they are within the process, as well as how to take advantage of the next step, what they just did, what that means going forward. All of this stuff is built out for you guys. It's built out for your customers. It's built out for them to take advantage of, right? But a lot of times we get so caught up in what's new, what's this, what's that, right? And I'm telling you, I got some new for you. Don't worry, the new is coming. But I want you to really have a good idea of what has recently rolled out or what have we used since day one that you already have access to, right? One of the major things, I believe it was last year, maybe the end of the year before that we rolled out, this is custom. There is not another broker in commercial finance that has this resource. Nobody's got it. It's proprietary technology, as we like to call it, but we have our ROC approval calculator, right? So a lot of times as a broker, what you receive from a bank or lender is a really cool calculator feature that shows you how to price the transaction at different terms and different dollar amounts for each approval that you get, right? What we rolled out is one calculator feature that shows every lender all in one. So basically, you could have multiple products. You could have a line of credit. You could have a term loan option. And this calculator feature, you can toggle between them all and really show what a business owner is qualified for, how it works, what they need to do next steps, and realistically, it takes them into an experience where they can choose not whether they want the loan, yes or no, but how much they want to borrow. That's a big, big difference when you say yes or no versus how much, right? So this has been a major change. One of the fun facts that I love about the loan calculator is we rolled out the calculator and within a week we funded a deal for $57,532. We would have never guessed that a business owner needed $52,532. But because of the loan calculator, they were able to customize their approval, and boom, here they are with a customized deal that was exactly what they needed it for, right? It was less what they wanted to put in equity and this and that, and it worked for their business. The reality is you and I don't know what works for other businesses. I always say it's not about being able to get somebody, $50,000. It's about being able to get them what they need. Right? $50,000 is great, but if you needed $200,000, does it even help? So that's the reality. How can you help with what is a resource for you? And now, real quick, I don't know if you guys can hear my drum roll. Okay, we are officially rolling out an AI affiliate coach for you guys. This is something that we've been working on for a really long time. This is something that I am super proud of and excited to have start to communicate with you guys. The reality is you might have even seen some of these tools in use already, but this one you probably have seen recently. If you've seen any communication from Isabella Carter at Rock Financial, she is our affiliate AI affiliate coach, excuse me. So she's an AI technology that I personally have trained, as well as our team here. And she is all about how to leverage commercial finance. She is all about how to generate leads in commercial finance. She has all of the resources and all of the information at Rock. We feed her info every single month on things like what are the top industries, what are the bottom industries, who's getting the best approvals, who's getting the worst approvals, who's funding the most deals, who's funding the least amount of deals, right? Because the reality is we want you guys to have the ultimate tool when it comes to generating success as an affiliate at Rock. Well, if I can't tell you how to define success for yourself personally, I got to build you the tool that can. Right, so that's what Isabella Carter is. That's what we're rolling out, and it's really an awesome feature, if I'm being honest. But the reality is Isabella is live already. We are working on some more intricate ways for you guys to be able to interact with her. But she sent you guys some emails. She sent you guys some text messages. She's going to be following up with those of you that attended on the webinar today. So we're excited to have that, that go out. But the reality is she has, somebody just commented, shout out to Carl. She said, she helped me, and was on point. So thanks, Carl. Appreciate that, man. The reality is it takes a lot of testing to get to this point. So super appreciative of you saying that. But the reality is we've rolled this tool out. She's already within the platform. We're going to be able to we're going to put her in the portal for you guys, so you'll be able to just click right into the help tab in the portal, and she'll be listed under the help tab where you can go in and have a conversation with her. We're going to give you guys a phone number that you can text her back and forth anytime. All of this stuff is either gone out, in the process of going out, is information that you have access to, or information that'll be rolling out here. But I'm telling you, just like any other AI tool, the thing that you're going to get today, or the thing that you see in front of you right now, is being compounded daily. So you'll have all of this resource at your fingertips, but the more you use it, the more it'll learn about you, the more it'll learn how to help you in your use case, and really be a resource back to you. I am excited for this. I'm more than excited because I believe there's a lot of misinformation out there about partnering with Rock. I believe there's a lot of misinformation out there about commercial finance. So I'm excited that you guys will have somewhere to go, ask a quick question, and I know you'll get the right answer. That's the beauty of having a tool like this, is you know what it's going to say, when it's going to say it, and how it should be positioned. So definitely excited for that for you guys, and for you guys to utilize her more going forward. She is going to be leveraged in a ton of different ways. So if you have heard from her, great. If you haven't, I promise she's coming. But the reality is you know, she's going to be a great resource for those of you who this might not be your full-time business. A lot of you are consultants. A lot of you are professionals, business professionals that have other roles, that have other things that they're doing. This resource is built for you when you need it, and it's gone when you don't. Right? The worst thing is those of you that call in and your business development officer doesn't answer, or your account executive is busy. Right? Well, Isabella, she don't get busy. Isabella, she don't get tired. You know, it's all about you guys having the resource to help you leverage the system that much better. But just really quick, I don't want you to take my word for it if you're brand new to work with Rock. Go take a look at our reviews. We have 5 stars across the board, whether you're talking about Google, Trustpilot, this place, that place. It's not just business owners. It's people who work with business owners that trust us with their customers who leave these reviews. So don't take my word for it. Go do your research, and definitely partner with those that have the best available to you, and have the best transparency and honesty within their processes. And I know that we're right up there at the top of that list. So excited to have that for you. Some of the tools that we didn't touch on that are specifically built for our affiliates are our My Partner portal. Those of you that are partnered and haven't been into the portal yet, I invite you to jump into the portal, get that use case for yourself, figure out how you can leverage it. We give you access to DocuSign. All of our lenders are API'd into our system, so that's something you don't have to worry about, right? We have over 75 different lending options that when you have somebody apply, boom, they're instantly being shared with those that are relevant for their use case. We provide our loan analysis. You get access to all of our social media content through Sprout Social. You have our loan calculator, and the list really goes on and on and on. The reality is we just want you to understand the different resources that are available to you. It's extremely easy to work with Rock. Some people are really involved in the process. Some people are working with their customer hand in hand all the way through the finish line, and even post-funding. But others, they don't even know their customers. They share a landing page. That landing page gets shared. It gives us access to that person's name, number, and what they're using money for. They sit back and relax while we get to work. We handle the entire transaction open to close, and then you guys are, boom, paid commission the following Friday, just like all the other, any other time that you would be interacting with us. I hope you pulled some value out of this. And as we always say, until next time, keep rocking, everybody. Thanks so much.